Hey guys, what's good? This is Yepa, Shamanic practitioner. Welcome to my channel, raising the vibrations across the nation. Come on in. Welcome to the month of September, guys. May September bring blessings, good health, prosperity, clarity, healing, all that good stuff. I hope everybody is doing well. Um, I'm coming forth today to do a hidden gems reading. The ancestors wanted me to do one for the next 7 days. I was in the shower when that download had came through, and I was like, the next 7 days, huh? They was like, yes, do a collective reading for the next 7 days. It's like, okay. So for the ancestors to bring forth a need for this reading to be specifically done for the next 7 days. Something about the next 7 days is significant. Now I know that we have, I believe, a lunar eclipse. Don't mark me on it. I got to do my research on it. But I know it's September the 7th and September the 8th. I think that we actually have an eclipse and a full moon. So again, I'm not quite sure. Um, I'm not quite sure if that is the reason as to why the ancestors wanted to do this reading or not, but let's go ahead and tap on in. But before I do, make sure that you subscribe. Feel free to like it. It's greatly appreciated. It helps get the video out, you know what I'm saying, to other people that may need to hear something. Um, so that's greatly appreciated. Also, um, I'm going to be doing a live every Thursday at 6:30 on this YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe. Last Thursday, I believe it was last Thursday that I did the live. It definitely was lit. Um, I really enjoyed it. A lot of information. Many of you um, was also on that live as well. So yeah, make sure that you mark your calendar every Thursday at 6:30 here on my YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and dive on in. If anybody is interested in a more personal reading with me, spiritualvibrations.org. The information is in the description box below. I do want to share a story with you guys before I dive on in. So this is actually the first reading of this morning, regardless of whenever you're watching this or if you watch it today. And I had I believe a new client. Um, Name doesn't look familiar to me. Scheduled with me sometime last week. However, it was a lot of back and forth, missing appointments. Client is not responding to the messages being sent, but the client is messaging me back from the same places that I've sent the message, but the client says she's not getting them, right? So many of you know how it works, right? Send the information. By the end of the night, it's not sent, get rescheduled, right? Sometimes I bend those rules depending on the situation, right? Because we all, go through shit, right? However, though, I woke up this morning with a bullshit email from this client. Now, the young lady haven't gotten a reading because y'all know it's in that picture, right? Ain't got the picture, so. But it was a little bit, you know what I'm saying, uh, disgruntled. Um, Now, understand the same email that this person is messaging me, right, is the same email that I've been sending stuff to. but she ain't got nothing that I sent her. However, though, I was like, this is not a past client, and this is a new client, right? What I'm going to do is let this person know that they are not able to book with me. Their money will be refunded. Okay? Ruffle my feathers just a little bit. Because I actually went above and beyond. Cell phone, Wix app, email, multiple times. So, the reason that I'm saying this, guys, is that this week some of you could be tested. And I want to say to some, all money ain't good money. Okay? That's one thing about me as a practitioner. Okay? Y'all roll with me. I know you like, girl, get to the video. Pipe down or log off. It's a part of the reading. All money ain't good money. And that's one thing about me, is that if something about the person's spirit, something about the person's energy, I don't give a fuck. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of it. Because if that's how the presentation is, then I already know what else could come after this. So I'm going to nip the shit in the bud for you. That's a message. Somebody's going to be in that energy this week. Maybe all of you. You're going to be nipping some shit in the bud. Okay? It's like, it's a very, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it type of vibe this week. As I was channeling yesterday, Mars, the planet Mars, and I believe it was the planet Neptune that was very prominent. Okay? Now, Mars is that combative energy. Mars is that fiery energy. Now, Mars, of course, is other energies that is more on the pleasant side. But to stay in alignment with what I'm speaking of and possibly where the ancestors is going, okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to say that. I be hating when that be happening. I get a channeled message, and as I'm speaking, I'm getting a message. And if I'm not really like keening in on the message that I'm hearing, it all goes poop. Some of y'all understand. Some of y'all shit don't. Y'all. Some of y'all don't even read, and y'all be doing that. So, yeah. But there was a point I was trying to say. Hopefully, it comes back up. But anywho, let's just get back into the flow. I feel like, again, this week is a week that some of you are like, no, like very straightforward. Like, I don't have time for the bullshit type of vibes here. I do want you guys to know that, because that's right, thank you, Spirit. Because of Mars and Neptune, again, Mars has other good qualities about him, but again, Mars is that fiery energy. Mars is that, driven energy, over ambitious energy, ego, clashing, arguments, So this could be something that we see also with the eclipse as well. So what I want to say, don't join the circus. Let those in the circus continue to play in that circus. Don't participate in the bullshit this week. Address it. Stand on business with it. Shut it down. It's either this or that. Or it's either this or nothing at all. Alright, that's the vibe that I'm getting. So, again, guys, watch your tempers. Don't allow anybody to have any power or control over you to get you out of your fucking element. Because even though it bothered me, like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? How dare you? I didn't pop off that circus. However, I stood on business and let this young lady know exactly where I'm coming from. But whatever the projection, let's talk about it. That's what it is. Be careful with projection in the next 7 days. Don't let nobody project their anxiety, because that's what the issue was. Don't let nobody project their anxiety, their fears, whatever the fuck, onto you this week. Send that shit right back. Block that shit. This is a week of protective energy, shielding yourself. Stay grounded this week. Because with this eclipse and full moon, shit could get a little bit turbulent if you allow it. Okay? I don't make this up. I haven't even shuffled. Okay? I haven't even shuffled. White light prayer. You guys probably can't see it. Give me a second. Let me change this light. So we have the white light prayer here. All right, feel free to write it down. We're going to say this out loud for all of you guys that's working. Look at the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4. My steps are being in alignment. I am at the right time, in the right space, at the right moment, doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Ashe. So white light prayer. I am surrounded by pure white light, and only good comes to me. Only that which is for my highest good and best good is made to manifest through me. I ask for divine order, divine guidance, and divine wisdom to come through me. I give thanks. Ashe, 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 and for me, amen. All right, let's go ahead and tap on in, Divine Spirit. Thank you, ancestors, for protection over the enemy. Okay. All right, ancestors. This is for the collective. You wanted me to bring forth insights on the next 7 days. Okay. Next 7 days for the collective. What do you want them to know, Divine Spirit? The next 7 days for the collective. What do you want them to know? Next 7 days. Somebody is a Mason or Eastern Star. The final shuffle for the collective. What do you want to talk to the collective about for the next 7 days? Spirit, for the next 7 days. What do you want to talk to the collective about for the next 7 days? Collective, what's in store? What you want them to know in the next 7 days? Interesting. Poltergeist. Got the card of poltergeist. A spirit that creates physical disturbances like moving objects, making noise, or destroying items. Ancestors, what you want to talk to the collective about? We have key, access, unlocking potential, knowledge, destiny, life purpose, secrets, and wisdom. For the next 7 days, what you want to talk to the collective about? For the next 7 days, what you want the collective to know? We have candles. Light the way. Eliminate the path and the conduit of spirit as well as water. For the collective, what you want to talk to them about today for the next 7 days. For the collective, next 7 days, what do you want them to know? The collective for the next 7 days. The universe wants to make you rich. Allow and step to the side. Alright, 2 more cards. What do you want to talk to the collective about for the next 7 days? The next 7 days. What you want to talk to the collective about for the next 7 days? What do you want to talk to the collective about pertaining to the next 7 days? Okay, I'm not going to accept that. What do you want to talk to the collective about here pertaining to the next 7 days? What do you want to talk to the collective about? You want to take? No. What do you want to talk to the collective about? We got overall energy, ancestral protection. You are choosing to smile on the outside while crying on the inside. Confirmation. And one more card here. What you want to talk to the collective about for the next 7 days? Overall energy, we got joy. Angel number 444. What you want to talk to the collective about today for the next 7 days? What you want to talk to the collective about for the next 7 days? We have your immortal love story. And what's the overall energy for the collective for the next 7 days? What's the overall energy here for the collective for the next 7 days? High level vibrational energy. And one more card here for the collective for the next 7 days, what you want them to know. We have a masculine is having a hard time. And bottom of the deck, we have hidden ancestors are stepping forward. Right behind that, we got sacral chakra here. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You guys can't even see this. Hold on. I got a new setup. Oh. So, I got a new setup. No, right down. Okay, I'll put this on here. Okay. I need to bring this down, so. Okay. So just give me a moment, guys, just to kind of tap in for the next 7 days here. So yeah, we had sacral chakra at the bottom here. Again, it goes back into alignment what I was speaking of when I was, venting and using as a teaching moment. When it comes to keeping your emotions in check this week. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and tap on in here. I feel like it's a few different things here. The energy in the next 7 days is definitely going to be very heightened energy, heightened sensitivity. Okay, You may feel more sensitive in the next 7 days. Maybe you feel overly stimulated in the next 7 days. There could be anxious energy that you feel, restlessness, or a little of anxiety in the next 7 days. I definitely feel like the veil is very thin within the next 7 days here as well. Your ancestors are definitely very much present. For some of you, they're going to try to reach out to you, okay, as well. For some, whether that's in your dreams, whether you see a shadow, um, whether you're just sitting up and you just think about a person all of a sudden that's on the other side here. Um, Now, by the veil being thin, many of you that's watching this reading here have ancestors that you haven't had a chance to meet. You're not quite sure who they are, but they're stepping forward. And anytime new ancestors step forward, you've 9 times out of 10 recently graduated from some type of test. When new ancestors decide to step forward, that means that they are ready to work with you. And certain ancestors cannot step forth until you have some level of expertise, some level of experience, or have understood a lesson to something. You've elevated in some shape or form in which now you're at the frequency or the level or the place that you need to be in order for them to utilize, not to utilize, but to use their knowledge, their wisdom, and their experiences, their understanding to assist you, okay, in your next chapter. So it's something like that that's taking place here. It's a lot of the masculines, ancestral energies that seems to be stepping forth. Okay, not to say that there won't be any divine feminine, because when the veil, you got, of course, both sex, but it seems to be a lot of masculine energy that is stepping forward here. Okay, so your I don't know why I wanted to say paternal. So for some of you, this is going to be ancestors from your paternal side of the family, whether you know them or not, okay? For somebody, I just heard them ask, but what about me? Because I was adopted, even adopted. So I'm hearing that even adopted. This next phase that the collective is getting ready to experience is going to bring forth joy. This next stage for the collective, especially for those that's watching this, you're going to be definitely moving forward. All right, moving forward in the right direction. So, because the veil is very thin this week, some of you may experience paranormal activity. Okay. Like I said, the paranormal activity is definitely ancestral. Okay, that won't be for all. Some of you, it is your ancestors. And you're gonna know. You're gonna know, because when a spirit enters your space, you're going to know whether it is a high vibrational spirit. Because if it is, then you're not going to feel no type of fear or anything like that. But if it is a negative or low vibrational spirit, you're going to get this creepy, eerie feeling. All right. Now for others, let's get back to the sacral chakra that did appear, right? Where did I go? Did I flip it? Yeah, here goes the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is many different specifications, like your creativity, your sexuality, your fears, emotions. We're going to be focused on the energy of emotions when it comes to your sacral chakra, though. For others, it's going to be very important, especially if you're gifted. Okay? If you are gifted, it's going to be very important this week that you do ground, that you do connect with nature. Because for those that spiritually tapped in, you vibrating from a higher frequency, right? On top of the surges that is going on in the collective. And if your emotions is not balanced this week or in within the next 7 days, you can create poltergeist activity. Okay. And for those that is not a believer in spirits, paranormal activity, things of that nature, then you shouldn't be watching. But if you know that this dimension that we're in, we're not the only species present, then continue to listen. You could create a poltergeist. A poltergeist is pretty much something that we physically create. If we don't know how to balance our energies well, for those that's gifted, okay? My oldest daughter, okay, when she was in her teenage years, let's talk about that, because poltergeist, okay, activity normally starts around preteens and can continue upward, okay? I would say about 11 and up, okay, up until the end of time, you can create poltergeist activity. I've never really saw a child under that age create poltergeist activity unless they had some bad behavior issues, okay? But that's very rare. However, though, when it comes to 11 and up, again, my daughter definitely had poltergeist activity. And that was something that I was aware of, but I wasn't for sure how it worked at that time. When she would get very upset, things would, you hear noises that's not there, bam, slashes, stuff drop, bumps on the wall, things of that nature, just weird stuff happening. You set things one place and then they move into the next place. It was just a lot of weird stuff that was happening. I didn't kind of understand, but at that time, she was in her preteen, so her emotions was all over the place. That's significant because for someone that is watching, it may not literally be you this week that will create a poltergeist energy. It could actually be a child that's going through this experience, which may have been the reason why I shared that. However, though, if our energies are not balanced, we can create poltergeist energies. Just pretty much like, look at poltergeist energy like we have stepped outside of ourselves. We're in our flesh, but we stepped outside of ourselves and we are roaming through the house, right? We're roaming through the house with frustration, right? Knocking things down, hearing stuff knock, hearing stuff slam, especially when you are angry. Sometimes it could be your lights. That's okay. Poltergeist is just about slamming. Sometimes when you get real upset, that was the thing with my daughter. The light bulbs would go out, or they would start flickering nonstop because she was worked up. So many of you, okay, not all, but many of you are going to be experiencing some of that. So for some of you, it's not actually your ancestors, coming around showing love. It's actually poltergeist energy. So pay attention to that. All right. Ancestors just told me some of you may have issues with your candle flame staying lit this week. And, as soon as I said that, I just heard because we're moving through. We're moving through. So that's interesting. So some of you, if you burning candles, your flame may go out. Okay? You may have to kind of keep relighting it, or depending on what type of candle. Everybody don't do witchy candles, okay? This could just be regular candles in the house just to make them smell good, make your home smell good. Something about the flame here. Needing to pay attention to the flame for some this week, okay? What else do you want them to know in the next 7 days, ancestors here? Something about this week is powerful, guys. And it's like the ancestors are you. Okay, I got y'all. All right, so this is a powerful week because you got the hidden ancestors, right? You've elevated, right? Now they're able to come forth. Now they're going to help you, right? In this new chapter that brings forward movement, that brings joy here. They are assisting you this week when it comes to getting things in order for your destiny. So this is what these new ancestors are coming in for. They are here to help shape, reshape your direction, not the path, because the path is set, is already ordained. To reshape the direction and how you get to your destiny. My spiritualists, you're going to have keys to the motherfucking streets this week in the next 7 days. Tap the fuck in. Trust your intuition. Trust how you feel. Journal. Okay? Write down the channel downloads that you're going to be receiving. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. There is an unlocking of the third eye that's happening in the next 7 days. Much knowledge, much clarity, much understanding is going to be coming forth. Okay? Secrets are going to be revealed. This is going to be a week of revelation. Okay? Wisdom is what you're going to be gaining within the next 7 days here. For those that do ancestral veneration, light the candles up. Pay attention to the flames. Okay? Whether you notice the flames going very high, getting very small, whether the fire is going out, light a candle. Even if you don't have an ancestor altar and you are someone that spends a few minutes every morning or sometime in the day just to kind of pray or to have that commune with the divine source here, light a white candle, even if it's a tea light candle here as well. Okay? Your ancestors are going to illuminate the path here. They're saying that the last few months, the last few weeks, okay, the path has been a little hazy. It's been a little dark. It's been a little hard to see and navigate through. The ancestors is showing me a dark tunnel, and you're walking, but you're kind of tapping the things around you to feel what's in front of you, but you're still moving forward. That's kind of like that's an analogy that they're showing me here. So you guys have just been feeling your way through. Not being able to see, but just feeling your way through. Make sure that the ancestors have water here as well. Understand water is also the conduit of spirit. I feel like this is a week to pay attention to your water on your altar, okay? And I do have a video on the Ancestral series of this channel here pertaining to the messages from your altar water. So pay attention to your water, and if you have any questions, revert back to that video here. All right? Now, it's like this season, if you're still here, the season that we are moving into is getting ready to unlock another dimension. For many of us, it's a dimension that we've prayed for. For many of us, it's a dimension that we've never seen. For some of us, it's a dimension that we didn't even know was possible for us. There's an unlocking. Okay? And the universe, our ancestors, is wanting to make us rich. Let's talk about that word, rich. Rich can look different for many people. Rich can be like having all the money in the world. Rich could be having, the dopest crib that I want. Rich could be having the dopest ride, the car. You know, rich looks different for everyone. But what I know, the emotion connected to rich is happiness. Okay? It's happiness. Because if you rich in whatever the area is that you deem as rich, you're going to be happy about it. So it's like the universe is ready to make us rich. But rich in spirit, but also rich in the 3D. And it's like they're stepping forward, so they need us to step back. Oh, ancestors say no. Worded just like we have it. So the ancestors say we're stepping forward, and we need for you to step to the side, not to the back. Just step to the side. So it's like the universe in the next 7 days is about to work some magic. Now, whether that be uncomfortable because we got hard time. So something about the adjustments, right? Now you know that with all this good energy that the ancestors is prophesying in our life, right? All this good energy. Now you know it's duality. So you know that it comes with a little something. So for some of you, this may feel like a hard week. But the ancestors said it really won't be. It might feel that way, but it's really not. It's going to feel that way with the unlocking that we are doing. So step to the side and allow. Okay? Because your ancestors have been aware that, you know, like I said, you've been feeling your way through, you know? And like the old folks say, you got to sometimes fake it until you make it. And that's what's been happening. The ancestors understand, they've been there, done that. They know better than we do. Or you got to fake it till you make it. But they say that we know that you are choosing to smile. Right? But in the inside, you're crying. So, again, it may not be boo-hoo-hoo, but the message is, for some it is. For others, it's some sadness. It's some void. It's some discontentment there. So you can put that, whatever word you want to put into that. But if you're watching, you've been choosing to smile, right? And your ancestors is like, listen, we're going to make sure on this journey, when you smiling, you're going to be smiling internally as well as externally. Like your ancestors is saying, if you allow us to make you rich and step to the side, you're going to see the love. You're going to feel the love. And this is going to be a love that's going to last a lifetime. Okay? This is going to be the rich that lasts a lifetime. Long term. Okay? Long term energy. Now, I do want to say this here. For the collective, keep an eye on our divine masculines the next 7 days. Whether I'm speaking to the divine masculine, or whether it's your boo, or it's your brother, or it's your uncle, or it's your dad. Keep an eye on the divine masculine in the next 7 days. Because I do feel that the divine masculines could definitely be going through some things this week. Okay. Divine masculine is having a hard time. For some of you, this is the person you're in a relationship with. Be brave, be bold, and allow. So for my divine masculines that's watching, your ancestors are saying that this week can feel kind of intense for you. Okay? But your ancestors want you to be brave, be bold, and allow. And I guess that message is for everyone, because we all embody that divine masculine energy. But in my third eye, I felt specifically that it's like the divine masculine this next 7 days need a little bit more TLC. But not to the point where you are putting yourself on the back burner either, right? Okay, that's what somebody needed to hear that. The word for this week is allow. Allow. Okay, let's go ahead and close out for the next 7 days for the collective. Any final messages next 7 days for the collective? We got snake. Some of you guys may see snakes, literal snake online, looking at social media, watching TV. This is the time of healing here as well. The healers are definitely being called to step up. If you are a healer, you does this. This is, a part of your work. Okay? You're being called to step up. And you need to know that you are protected. Okay? The collective. A table is being prepared in the presence of your enemies. See, I was trying to keep it PG-13 in this bitch. But hidden. That's the secrets. Many of you have elevated. You're leveling up, you're changing, you're moving different, you're acting different, you're looking different, talking different, you different. You on high alert and you don't even know it. Some of you know you are. You on high alert. Okay? Spotlight's on you. Spotlight's been on you. And you're shining bright. You're shining bright. So the snakes are slithering. They're trying to stay hidden though. For some of you, one of the snakes is somebody you just sat at the table with. You know who it is because you questioned this person. Probably why you were sitting at the table. Or you had a fucked up thought about this person while you were sitting at the table. But for others, you just got a hidden snake just lurking. They see you happy, see you elevated. But the ancestors going to expose their ass. The ancestors going to bring their ass out for you to see this week. Okay? For some of you, it's a male person. For some of you, it may not be for everybody. Somebody named Joy. Could also be a hidden enemy. Joy, Joi. But don't worry, because what y'all building, what's being built for y'all, they ain't seen shit yet, So keep doing you, because you protect. Your ancestors said you ain't got to worry about this. You ain't got to worry about this. I don't make this up. Altar water. Pay attention to your altar water. They may reveal some initials this week. Again, not only is candles the conduit of spirit, water is the conduit of spirit. So pay attention to your water. Maybe you're going to find a bug in there. Maybe you're going to find some initials, some symbols. Okay? It's going to tell you something this week. Maybe a number. Pay attention to what you see. One final card. We're going to close out. They are seen as a threat. You are seen as a threat. Okay? The fact that I said it that way, somebody is... Don't allow these haters and these enemies, under no circle, don't allow nobody to intimidate you. Not at all. Not at all. Don't let nobody intimidate you. Because somebody, for that to come out, you could be feeling intimidated by something. Don't let another human being intimidate you. Ain't no motherfucking way. But I know everybody ain't got that type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to let you know. Don't let no human being intimidate you. Like, no. Now, I'm going to say this. If you do a return to sender this week, the flame will go out. If you do a return to sender this week, it's going to stop. Okay? It's not going to burn all the way. You're going to have issues with this return to sender. Why? Your ancestors are coming forth. They got this. Then they just tell you to step to the side. You ain't got to burn. You ain't got to do that return to sender right now. I know that may be a part of your first of the month ritual. Right? But they like, we got this. We already been watching these motherfuckers. While they've been on the ground slithering. You know? While they've been down there yapping and talking that shit. Popping that shit. Making lies and shit. Well, you minding your business, leveling up in life. We've been noticing every time your name gets mentioned, that it ain't coming from you or those that your team know that you love. They like, hold on, who the fuck is you? Why the fuck you mention her name? What you got to say? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Let me go back and report. Let me go back and let this person know what the fuck's going on. So they like, listen, guys. Just step to the side. I'm going to stop the evil eye candle. I'm going to stop the banishment candle. I'm going to stop the return to sender. The flame just going to go out. The candle could explode for some of you. We got that Mars energy. The candle could explode. Because they're going to handle this shit. They don't want you to do it. They want you to focus on your step forward. Let them handle this little lightweight shit. This is why I call it lightweight. Okay? Goes back to the beginning. Weird fucking energy this week. Stay grounded. White light prayer. Cleansing. Water. Working with water. Working with water. Working with water. Okay? Is going to be very important. Water and nature. Okay? It's going to be important. Alright, guys. So, make sure you like. I hope you have a blessed next 7 days. Feel free to comment below. And don't forget that we're going to be doing every Thursday at 6:30 Hidden Gems Collective Reading. Okay? So, make sure you subscribe so that way you can receive notification when I go live or when I post a video as well, like I did today. Okay? If you yourself are wanting your own personal Hidden Gems Ancestral Wisdom reading, go to spiritualvibrations.org. Talk to your ancestors so they can tell you the tea. Until next time, Ashe.